Hey there, I'm Scott, and welcome back to my home and kitchen. Over my summer break, I've been getting a lot of emails from you guys, and the majority has been asking for my recipe for shrimp and grits. I think probably 6 or 7 of you have written in for that one particular recipe. So I thought tonight, it's a beautiful night, and I thought we would work on that shrimp and grits. So let's head into the kitchen and get started. Alright, let's get started on this delicious recipe for shrimp and grits. The first thing I need to let you know is I have 2 pounds of shrimp. It's been peeled and deveined, and I have it right here. It's been kept cold in the refrigerator. And what I want to do to that is just put a couple of shakes of Tabasco on it. And then the juice of 1 lemon is going to go in, and I have this really great juicer. Give it a squeeze. On the second half. That's going to add a real nice tartness to these shrimp and a freshness to them as they cook. So just with a spoon, get all that stirred around. And we're going to set these to the side while we begin to make our grits. Alright, the first thing we need to do is get our grits underway. I have 6 cups of water back here on the stove on a high heat. I'm going to let that come to a boil. Once it boils, we'll be adding 1 cup of quick cooking grits, about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of sharp cheddar cheese, and 3 tablespoons of butter. So while that comes up to a boil, we can be working on our gravy that eventually the shrimp will go into. So I want to get my heat high up on our skillet. And to that, we're going to add 6 slices of thick cut bacon that I've really chopped up finely into little bitty pieces, about 1/8 of an inch square. That's important. We want to keep those small so they don't really overpower our shrimp in size. So we'll come back when the skillet gets hot. Alright, the skillet got nice and hot. We're going to add all of our bacon to that and spread it out. We want this to get brown but not crisp. So about 5 minutes or so. The water for the grits just came to a boil. So I want to, just in a fine stream, whisk this in gradually. And it'll bubble up slightly, which is just fine. The reason you want to whisk it is to make sure you don't get any clumps in your grits. Okay. So that is all in. Great. I'm just going to reduce this down just to a medium-high heat, and we're going to whisk this occasionally. Alright, the bacon got brown, but again, not crisp. To that, I want to add 1 onion, very finely diced. And then when I say very finely, it needs to be very, very finely diced. Goes in. I have about 1/4 cup of finely chopped red bell pepper. About 1/4 cup of very finely chopped celery, and 1 to 2 cloves of finely minced garlic. That all goes right in, and that's what's going to make this gravy fantastic. So just toss this around in the bacon fat, and reduce your temperature to a medium-low, and let this saute, medium to medium-low, depending on your burner, and let this saute for about 5 to 10 minutes. And we want to watch for the onion and the bell pepper and the celery to get very nicely wilted. But we don't want to add any color to it. We just want it to sort of start to break down a lot. Our onions, bell pepper, and celery have cooked down really nicely. They became really well limp and started to sort of break apart just a little bit. So to that, I want to add about 1/2 cup of finely chopped green onion or scallion. And then I have 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. That's going to go in. Just sprinkle it all over the top. That's going to start to build our roux to thicken the final gravy for this dish. And at this point I want to turn my heat down to a medium-low and let this cook for about 5 minutes. That's going to give the flour time to sort of cook out all of its raw flavor, but also to get those green onions nice and limp. By the way, the grits cooked. They were in there for 6 minutes. I stirred them occasionally, and they're just sitting on a very low simmer. If your grits start to get too thick, just add a little bit of water at a time and stir, and it will keep it at the right consistency. The flour and the green onions have been in for just about 5 minutes, looking good. So I have 1 cup of chicken stock, low sodium, and get this mixed in. Stir it all the way in. It'll mix in with the flour and it'll start to thicken our gravy. You want to taste this. After it cooks for about 5 minutes, taste it. If it needs salt, add some to your taste. So we're going to let this cook for about 5 minutes. Alright, while our gravy is finishing cooking, I want to show you how to finish these grits. Take them off the stove and add your butter. Really as much as you like. I'm putting 3 tablespoons in. Give that a stir around. Get it all melted. Then we're going to add our cheese. A cup, cup and a half, 2 cups. Really, it's up to you how cheesy you like your grits. Here I'm adding about a cup and a half. Finely shredded. And get all of that stirred around. The cheese will start to melt and look really great. Then put in about a dash or so of Tabasco sauce and stir that around. And the grits are just about done. I'm just going to leave these uncovered sitting to the side while we finish our shrimp. The gravy is getting really nice. It's nice and thick. Absolutely delicious. To that, we want to dump in our shrimp that's been sitting in the lemon juice and the Tabasco. Add a couple of dashes of Worcestershire sauce, really to taste, and season it according to your taste with salt. I'm not adding any black pepper to this. The Worcestershire sauce has plenty of flavor for that. Just give this a nice stir around, get the shrimp incorporated into that really delicious gravy. We're going to wait for them to cook through. It'll take about 4 or 5 minutes depending on the thickness of your shrimp. But we're looking for them to become completely pink and not opaque at all. So about 4 or 5 minutes. So there it is. The shrimp are completely cooked through. I'm just going to turn off the heat. Give them a stir around. Taste it just for salt and pepper. It's really good. If you like it salty, you might want to add a little bit of salt. Mine is just perfect. So in a bowl or on a plate, whatever you prefer, I'm going to take my grits, the cheesy, buttery grits. Put some of those down right on the bottom. However many spoonfuls you want. Yum. And then get a nice helping of the shrimp pilot right in the middle. Make sure you scoop down to the bottom and get lots of that really delicious gravy. Wow, that looks really, really good. And then just some freshly chopped fresh parsley right over at the top. And I'm going to give it a taste because it looks fantastic. Wow. Talk about comfort food. The cheesiness of the grits, the garlic and the shrimp gravy along with the bell pepper and the onion. It's delicious. I really, really hope you'll try this recipe.